Hello, this is episode 21 of Kim's Art Show. And so we were joking that the show can legally drink now, right? Maybe that would make better paintings. We've had 20 episodes of gouache, and today we're going to do exclusively pastel. And so to talk about pastels, we have to start with some of an introduction to it. This is actually a really good way to get your feet wet in pastels, because we're going to do a continuation of the prior episode where I did warm-ups. And so what a nice way to show you the attributes of pastel and introduce the medium with some exercises that kind of loosen you up and get you in the mode of pastel. So a bit ago, a couple episodes back, I talked about how gouache and pastel play together well, and I brought in Prismacolor. These Prismacolor, and this is probably difficult to see because the box was falling apart, so I taped it all up with shiny, shiny tape. But I looked online today, 96 Prismacolor pastels. It's like $100, but you get every color that they make. And these are mine all used up, and I'm missing colors. Believe it or not, I'm missing white, and I'm missing some light blues and a few greens because I'm a landscape painter, and so I use those up. We're going to be using these today, likely, so I'm going to leave these ready to go. I like this one because it has these two trays of all of the colors. They have others that were just one big tray, and I found that that was difficult to put in my bag, whereas this is more compact. But one important thing about pastel is you're going to love it, and it's expensive, and you're going to want all the different kinds of pastels because each pastel brand type does something different. These are harder, and you need the harder for some drawing or for some hard edges, or like a portrait pastelist I know said, like if you want the hard line of a lip, you need a hard pastel, like a new pastel, N-U-P-A-S-T-E-L. So anyway, that's one. If you buy a set of 24 and then you're like, I love these so much, when you buy the set of 96, you have those 24 in the 96. So the point about pastel is always buy as much as you can at the onset. It's kind of hard. This set, if I were to only recommend you get one set, this one here is the most forgiving, wonderful set. Sennelier from Paris. Like so many things, really nice. These are half sticks. They call them demi pastels or half pastels. I like that because for the price of 40, I get 80 colors. And with pastel, it's all about the amount of colors because, like if you watch our episode 7, which was all about color, you say things when you're painting like, I need a dark, warm green. And I go look in the box and I find a dark, warm green, okay? So I mentioned before, like sometimes for important landmark birthdays or maybe anniversaries, people are like, what would you like? And I say something like expensive, crazy pastels that I would never ask for myself, like or invest in for myself. These are more from France. These are Henri Rocher, or Roche, R-O-C-H-E. They are insanely expensive and so beautiful, and I use these sparingly, and I adore them. It's scary though when you have something that's expensive because you don't really want to use it, but I use them. And when I do, I make sure it matters. This is a little Swiffer cloth, and it's like the best tip ever. And so they're kind of messy, and so I use the Swiffer cloth to take off some of that mess. And they are nice and bright and clean again. And it's all in there. Pastels are just pigment with a binder, like a gum Arabic, made into a stick. Sometimes not even gum arabic, sometimes just water made into a stick. So sometimes they are highly toxic. So you have to be really careful about the dust. So if I were doing a big piece, I would work outside. If I were doing a big piece in the studio, I would wear a mask and I would have an air filter. It's important. So last episode, right, I did these kind of fast studies. I'll put them here for a moment. And I was talking about these are warm-ups, how you get loose, get going, explore marks, subjects, composition. And so that's what we're going to do with pastel. Normally, I work on these little 3x3s. It's a great warm-up. And I don't know, maybe I'll do a little 3x3 and show you how quickly they work up. But I think that's kind of ridiculous. They're so small. I think I'll just start with this is 5x5, okay? So I have a rag still and gloves. They make you pretty dirty, and I just don't like that feeling. So last episode I did this reference, so maybe I'll try it again. I think there's something to be learned in working in a series, and so I'm going to kind of have that same mentality and show compare and contrast, right? Medium to medium. So you can get pastel pencils. Here's a nice whitey gray one. And I will kind of just claim my big shapes. Pastel paper comes in all different colors, right? I picked up the same one. Here's like a warm tone, a kind of like brown tone. I have a green tone. And just like when I work with gouache and I want to work on something not white, it's so nice with these opaque mediums to work on something that is not white. It's nice to see the color kind of sit up on the surface. So there's my map: sky, trees, some of the fussier detail, and then the pink. And remember, square, not square, whatever, right? I'm going to try to do the bulk of it with this. We'll see what happens. Pastel, very much. Work top to bottom. What color do I want the sky to be? Let's try this. So pastels let you use the stick as almost any kind of brush. It can be, you know, like a big wide brush or a thinner, like pointy one. But see how quickly it kind of allows me to claim color. With my finger, I kind of can blend it. You don't want to blend too much. That kind of flattens it all out. That's a problem, right? We want it to kind of feel active and fun. Besides, this is very early on. So sky, we'll say that's done. Let's get a deep green. This one is like black green. And I'm holding it on its side, right? And quickly kind of getting that in. And I will call that done. Green. There's another green in front of it. That's a little bit lighter. And there, a little bit done there. What green is the rest? So, like I said in that class on color, episode 7, right? You decide, like, I need a warm mid-tone green. And so, like I have this. It feels a little darker, but I like the tone. And there we go. done. When I use a color, right, I tend to kind of lean it up so that I know I used that. When I'm done with the painting, I shove them all back flat. Just a little trick. Okay, let's get that pink in because it is important. Look at how easy, right? I'm not mixing. I just pick it up, hold it up, even in plein air, right? When I'm working on location, it's so easy to be like, is that the color? Okay, we're gonna put it here, there, here, there. A lot of pastel is how hard you press down, right? I can just kind of drag it over and draw with it, or I can like kind of almost glaze with it. And you see, you know, I talk about like my hand is generally pretty aggressive. With pastels, you can really see the marks that you make. All right, so all covered. Now it's up to me to kind of refine, refine, refine. So I'm going to do that with these as long as I can. They're bigger sticks, see what happens. And you know with pastel, I just lost my thought. Yes, when you draw with it, like it can give you more of that, the directional mark making is more like drawing. So I'm drawing the blades of grass. I'm playing with the color directly. At any time, I can take a finger and kind of soften the edges or the space. I just don't want to do that too much. So it's covered. I don't love it, but that's okay. That's not the point. The point is to play, explore, have fun. And that's what I am doing. So I'm going to get out the new pastels and refine, but just a little, right? What do I think about these colors? Again, the directional mark making. And when I have something correct, you know, then I kind of like go in and do it like more, with more surety. Is that the word I'm going for? Oh, I like that kind of purple. I'm going to pull that over. Okay, let's lighten up this sky. So this paper that I'm working on is a sanded archival paper. And it's really nice because I can keep going, more layers, more layers. It's amazing how many layers it accepts. All right, I like it. Let's do something a little, like I was saying at the prior episode, when you're almost done, look at it and be like, is there something more it needs? What would I want to try? I'm going to take out this kind of ochre color and I'm going to, right, give it those little sparkly bits. And I love it. It's making me kind of excited. And maybe just a little contrast here. Good. That one's done. Okay. And, you know, I think I have at the ready, here it is in gouache. So a fun little contrast, a little more subtle, but I like it, right? Okay, what shall I do next? Doesn't take a long time, right? But you learn a lot and you kind of stretch, and that's the point. Okay, let's work on red. Well, it's a sienna, and we're going to do the second one that I had done in the prior episode. And my gloves are getting all messy. You can always tell, like, what have I been painting by? Colors on the glove, colors on the palette, the color of my water. Okay, I started doing pastel when my kids were little and napping because you can take the gloves off, go get your crying kid. Do you know what I mean? So I also played with this idea of these like small studies because that was something that I could get the brain space about and not be upset if they woke me up, you know? Okay, sky, trees, trees in front. Then there's like the green, the darks, and the fun. So there we are. Okay, I'm gonna start first with the Sennelier, really soft ones. Let's see, what color do I want my sky to be? Holding it at its side, just dragging it in. Right? I can hold it like a pencil and be more fussy. It's all whatever I want. So, done enough. Okay, next, I'm going to put in those trees. What color do I want those to be? This is actually, might be black. I don't want black. This is like a charcoal color. It's super soft and I love it. Okay, and I put it up at an angle. I'm going to get out another pastel, like this one's greeny. I'm just going to be a little bit more fussy. And maybe I'll put it down here too. Like, look how quick, right? Pastel is so quick, such fun. There's kind of like a ashy kind of green color. It's sort of light. This is when pastel gets tricky. Like, I don't know if that color exists here. So what color do I think it kind of approximates? Is it this? Yeah, I'll put this in. Right, so we know value is the lightness or darkness of a color. And sometimes if you don't have the color you want, look to see if you have the value you want. So pastel on location is like a gift. It is so easy to transport. The problem is that the pastels that you do kind of need to be protected because they need to be framed with glass and they smudge. And so you have to be careful. So this is a little bit light, but I don't kind of have the green that I wanted. So I am seeing about mixing by layers. I like it. Here though, maybe I'll blend it just a little. And see how it just softens the edges where color meets color. Okay, let's get a little fussier in the front. Might be time to switch to other pastels. Oh, nice greens. All right, and so much about how I hold the pastel tells us about what kind of marks we get. Okay, sky. Let's play with the sky. And a lot of the marks that I make are like, I've been doing this for a long time now. And so by habit, right, I make so many of these kinds of marks. What's nice too about pastel is it is so easy to blend. I'm gonna try to lighten. Ah, fun. Right, just my finger has green now, so I'm gonna clean that and just pull that over. I like it. Okay, so trees. Maybe with the new pastels now, I'll pull out some dark greens and refine some of the trees. Not too much, remember, we're still kind of playing with, this is an exercise in composition and shape and warming up. Look at that. long pastel. I'm just kind of dragging it over. Right, just what does each one do? Blend, right, some nice edges. So here, in the study with gouache, you know, I said you can reward yourself by giving yourself like little fussy bits, right? There's a leaf here of a weed. It's like the drawing benefit of it. Love it. Fun. Fun. And the pastel moving around, doing what you want just by how you hold your hand. Also, there's something nice about when you're working from, you know, like this limited palette, even though I have a ton of pastels here, I can't mix any color. It makes you make decisions. I think when I work with pastel, you know, it really helps me cement my color theory. So I want my foreground to read more, like see how this color feels too much like this color? So I'm gonna warm it up and I'm trying to get out like this purple color. Let's see what happens. Oh, that I like. There's like little seed heads over here. I don't know. Scribbles. Okay. I'm gonna get some yellow for the goldenrod. And good. I'm gonna call that done. Okay? So, maybe not yet, just a little more. I want that. But I really like it. Do I want it done? Do I want it to be done? So you know, too, in art school, you were never done, right? Like they'd be like, you have a week to do a self-portrait. Oh my gosh, you were just always, always painting, always working on it, always refining it. And then I read, you know, that there are artists who would sneak into like the National Gallery and I should show you, right? And touch up paintings that were in museums, you know? So that was our second exercise. So on to the next. God, I feel so much lighter than when I came in to start painting today. I was feeling very much like I couldn't do anything well in the studio. And I made myself, and I'm glad. You know, I'm so lucky to be able to come here and make this show and connect with so many people that why would I give that up because I was having like an off day in the studio? Everyone has off days. Okay, I'm going to take my pencil, just give myself that map again, right? Really basic. Okay, water. So this is light, this is light. Light, light. Everything else is kind of differing levels of dark, starting with the biggest pastels. Let's mix up. Let's see, what color this? I made it kind of a neutral mauve color, lavendery. Okay, now the tree line. I mean, look at that, right? It's like little strata. Okay, now what are the colors in the back? This one's a little dark. Look how quick it is to fix. And this is too how you can develop color relationships. I can decide I really like the way that these colors all read together. I like the marks that I've made here, there, everywhere. Okay, I want to lighten up through there. So my website will have pastel information. There's a lot. I would really say though, like, pay attention, buy the best that you can afford. It matters so greatly with pastels. You don't really want the student grade things. You won't get a good result. It's one of the only mediums that I feel that strongly about. It's kind of a bummer because they are expensive. Okay, what about over here? All right. So toward the end here, what kind of marks, what kind of colors, what kind of things are going to take it from one level to the next? That's what I have to figure out. So right, so my finger does a good job of blending, but it's not great. So it's better to pick a color and lightly kind of drag it on top. That's a better solution for the blending. There are so many tips and information things like that I can tell you about how to paint with pastel. We're just getting started. This is where you really start to feel your natural hand come out, what kind of marks. It's kind of sweet. I like it. So, here we are. Today, here are 2 pieces, right? A very nice start, and who knows what they can become. And I hope I've kind of given you a taste of pastel so that for future paintings, you know, you can watch it develop and see this is a really good warm-up, a way to get introduced to how they feel and how we work with them. They're so vibrant. They're my favorite. So thanks for watching.